These are the two variable linear inequalities notes. Okay. There are 4 different things that could be happening here, and those are due to the inequality symbols. So you could have y is less than mx plus b, so you could have the less than symbol. Y is greater than mx plus b, y is less than or equal to, or y is greater than or equal to, okay? The less than or greater than, the ones without the equal to, will give you dotted lines when you graph, okay? If it is less than, this first one, if it's less than, you're going to shade below the line that you graph. If it's greater than, bigger, then of course you're going to shade above. Okay, if you have less than or equal or greater than or equal to, if you have the equal, those are going to be solid lines. Again, less than you'll shade below, greater than you'll shade above. And you can notice these are in the form y equals mx plus b. This is the linear or line. Okay, and remember when you do this that m is the slope, which is also called the rate of change. And remember, slope is also called rise over run. Okay, and b is the y-intercept, and that's where the line is going to cross the y-axis. So graphing linear inequalities is very similar to just graphing linear equations. You're going to graph the line and then shade one side or the other. Alright, solving and graphing linear inequalities. When solving for y, don't forget to flip the inequality symbol if you multiply or divide by a negative, which we've been doing. Okay. Points on a dotted line do not count as part of the solution. That's why we dot the line instead of bolding it in, so you can tell the difference. Points on a solid line do count as part of the solution. So just like whenever we graph and a less than symbol is an open circle, less than or equal to is a closed circle on the line. Okay, the open circle represents that that number is not part of the answer. The closed circle says that it is. Okay, all points in the shaded area are part of the solution. So once I shade above or below, that's where all the possible answers are. Points in the non-shaded area are not part of the solution. Alright, now we're going to solve the inequality and graph it. When you solve, you're going to want to put it in the format y equals mx plus b, except of course instead of equals you're going to use whatever inequality symbol is in your problem. Okay, and you want to solve in the format y equals mx plus b, so you have the slope and the y-intercept so you can graph. Okay, so we're solving all of these for y, so this is why we did all that literal equation stuff as well. Alright, so this is a positive 3x, so the opposite would be minus 3x. Okay, 3x minus 3x goes away, and I'll have y is less than or equal to. Okay, now negative 1 and negative 3x are not like terms, so I cannot add them. So I'll either have negative 1 minus 3x, or if I want it in the format y equals mx plus b, then I can put the negative 3x first, that's my slope, and minus 1 second. Okay, so slope, or rate of change, is negative 3, which is the same as negative 3 over 1. And my y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis, is negative 1. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use to put on the graph. Alright. Alright, so now we're going to graph. Okay, so remember our equation is y, or our inequality, less than or equal to negative 3x minus 1. So our slope is negative 3 over 1, and our y-intercept is negative 1. So you go to the y-axis, which is the vertical axis. This is the x-axis. Go to the y-axis, go to -1 and plot a point. That's your y-intercept. Okay? Then your slope is -3 over 1. Remember, that's rise over run. So we're going to rise -3, so that would be down 3. So start at your point you already plotted. 1, 2, 3 down, and 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3 down, 1 to the right. I can go opposite and go 1, 2, 3 up, and then go left. Okay? Since this is a less than or equal to inequality symbol over here, then my line is going to be bold. It's not going to be dotted. Okay? Less than, the smaller numbers you are going to graph below or shade below the line. This would be below. So all the points, all the space that I have shaded in is the answer. Alright, next example. Okay, we're going to solve for y. So I want to move the x first. This is a positive 2x, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. 2x minus 2x goes away, leaving me with -3y is greater than -2x plus 6. These are not like terms. I cannot add or subtract them, and I want to put the x first because that just matches the format y equals mx plus b. Now we're going to move this -3. This is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. When you divide, you have to divide everything by -3. Okay, -3 divided by -3 goes away. Y, and then I flip this because I divided by a -3. So I'm going to flip my inequality the other direction. Alright, -2 divided by -3 does not divide evenly. It doesn't reduce, but two negatives do make a positive. So I'll have positive 2/3 x. My slope will be 2 over 3. And then 6 divided by -3 will divide evenly to give me a -2. So my slope is positive 2/3. My y-intercept is -2. Alright, so I'm going to graph y equals 2, just kidding. Y is less than 2/3 x minus 2. Alright, so my y-intercept is -2, so I'm going to go to the y-axis to -2, plot a point. Then my slope is positive 2/3, so rise over run. So I'm going to rise positive 2, run 3. 1, 2, 3. Rise 2, 1, 2, run 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, because my inequality symbol does not have an equal sign under it, it's going to be a dashed or a dotted line when I graph. Okay, less than, okay, would be smaller, so I'm going to shade below. If it's greater than, which is bigger, you'll shade above. So all of the numbers below this dotted line are the answers.